distance can be a major barrier to accessing quality healthcare on time. That's where Angel Flight East comes in. Welcome to Takeoff Talk with Angel Flight East, a nonprofit dedicated to providing free flights for children and adults who need medical treatment far from home. We don't know how many people forego medical care because they don't have accessible transportation, and that's what this podcast is here to change. Join passionate AFE staff members Jess and Maddy Beck as they share real-life stories from people who have used AFE services to get the care they need when they need it.
Hey, frequent flyers. Welcome back with another episode of Takeoff Talk. You're here with me, Maddy.
And me, Jess.
And me, Tom.
And today we have Tom. You guys have always heard us talking about Tom. Just because we've heard that he listens, and he is probably the only person who gives us his feedback on what we say.
Especially when we say somebody's name incorrectly.
Whether you want to hear it or not.
And we are doing this live from the Angel Flight office now. So, Tom, you are our second person doing it from here. Usually we do it all over Zoom, but he could just not stay away from us and all of our fun.
Yeah, it's great to be at the international headquarters of Angel Flight East here. They've done quite a bit of improvement and invested a lot of money into this facility. I must say, I'm very impressed with the Barbie room.
For those who are wondering about the Barbie room, Jess and I got booted and got our own office space down the hall, and they are very different. Mine is gray and lovely and nice, and Jess's is Pepto-Bismol pink with white and gold furniture.
It's just great. I feel like we'll have to put a picture in the show notes so everybody knows exactly who we are as people.
Yeah, I think it really does define our personalities as a whole, but that's not what we're here for, at least not in the beginning part of the episode. So, Tom, tell us a little bit about being a volunteer pilot with Angel Flight.
Well, I joined Angel Flight quite a while ago. My first flight was probably about 25 years ago. I flew with a gentleman and his wife from Lancaster, PA to Columbus, Ohio.
When you were in high school?
Yeah, right. I wish. That's when I had I used to have a rental car facility here at in the terminal building. When they shut down the airlines, there was still a counter in there. Just back when that show Wings was on, so kind of like a similar counter, So I sort of took that over, and we had a rental car location here for I'd say 2-3 years in the early to mid 90s.
Did you rent out box trucks too?
To qualified drivers.
Did you do background checks?
Yeah.
Yes. But so that was interesting. And at the time, Harry Morales was around, and his wife worked, I think, for what was it called, Pennsylvania Aviation back then?
I think so. Yeah. I think she worked at the place here, right?
She did, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name. It's Tammy's sticking in my head, but it's something.
I think it's Tammy.
Is it really? It's impressive.
Yeah.
But anyway, they kind of got to know them a little bit, sort of listen to what they were talking about. But I was just learning how to fly then. I wasn't instrument rated. And as a result, I didn't qualify to fly for wing or for Angel Flight, but nevertheless, it gave me incentive to progress my flying training a little further and get the instrument rating. And it's been a good mix. It's certainly been good for me, and hopefully it's I've been an addition to Angel Flight's efforts.
We have to keep you around.
Yeah.
But Tom was the person who rented all of our box trucks when we were doing the PPE deliveries. So Maddy and I would go to his car rental location in Glenside, and he would kind of just give us the keys, say goodbye, and not do any type of background on us. And I think he just hoped that we would come back in one piece, which we always did.
Yeah. Surprisingly, it did, yes.
Except for that one time when we weren't sure if we qualified as a truck for the no truck sign.
That was a very tight tunnel. I was holding my breath for that one.
That was a truck. That was definitely a truck.
Now we know. So why do you volunteer your time in playing for Angel Flight?
Well, it's tough to justify owning an airplane. It's a little easier to justify it as you're buying it. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. But once you get it and you do this and that, you kind of say, what am I going to do? It's thing sits in the hangar a lot, So the first few years of having the plane was fun. I a lot of my buddies to golf courses. My wife and I have maybe go to a nice, Block Island or Nantucket or something for the weekend. Or, just go out for a nice little Sunday morning breakfast. But sooner or later, everything gets old. Well, almost everything, helping people out never gets old. And I just found I needed a good reason to continue owning this thing. And I know that helping other people out is incredibly grateful for myself, for my own selfish reasons. I just enjoy doing it. And so that's it sort of came together. It was a brilliant mix. Old Harry kind of knew what he was doing back then,
He did.
Yeah.
He still does. I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would bet he does. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, when we interviewed him, he seemed much more together than we ever will be.
That's not saying much for us.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I didn't mean it to mean a lot for us.
I promise.
I know us.
He's gonna roast us on our live.
Oh no.
So Tom, do you have any flights that really stand out for you as something that's been like the most impactful? And it's okay if you say it was the one that you flew with Jess and I, but if you have anybody else that you want to talk about, we would listen to those as well.
I'll go with another one.
Wow.
Although,
I feel slighted.
It was nice. I remember that. Yeah, I think we went to Teterboro. We dropped off some goodies, and then we did
the Hudson
River BFR corridor, which
so
was fun.
cool.
So it was
and you let Jess and I fly.
Yep, yeah,
And then you took us to lunch.
and we're still here.
Great time.
It's amazing how it all worked. But I think my most memorable flight maybe was about 12 years ago. It was a young boy by the name of Weston Keaton, and I'm not saying anything out of school here. He's those websites and Facebook pages and so forth about this guy, and his family lived in Kingston, Tennessee, and he had a chronic heart and lung issue, and he ended up spending 3 years at CHOP, and his mother Julie used to travel constantly between Philadelphia and Tennessee, and depended on Angel Flight East for transportation. But he's a little guy, and his poor body was wearing out. He needed a heart and lung transplant. And during his treatment, the Keaton family had been separated in ways that no family ever really should be. His father Adam stayed in Tennessee to continue working, and the mother Julie, she made CHOP in Philadelphia her second home for pretty much 3 years, just kind of going back and forth as needed. The two of them had to constantly send their other 5 kids to relatives to help out while they were coming back and forth. And their kids were young; they were between 1 and 8 years old. So, and then of course, poor Weston, who's up at CHOP. So it was very challenging. And it meant them missing birthdays, missing milestones, Christmas. But the family kind of figured that making all these sacrifices, so someday everybody will be, the whole family will be back together and everything will become normal. During one of the stays when Julie was up here, she actually gave birth to her daughter, a young baby girl. And Adam at the time was in Tennessee tending to the other 5 children. So my wife and I had a privilege to help get them back to Tennessee with the newborn baby girl.
Oh.
And she was, I don't know, a week old maybe. She was just an infant, So I had a friend of mine who worked at CHOP, and she was able to get me some little earplugs for the baby. And, just a little caps that went over the ear, because I hadn't, I figured you had to do something.
Right.
You can't pop a set of headphone on this little girl, So anyhow, got them down there. Yeah, it was the first time the father met his daughter. So it was just something, we really just, it's hard to forget, And then Weston, he eventually did get his heart and lung transplant. It was right before Christmas of 2013. And
wow, talk about a good Christmas present.
Well, everybody said it was the Miracle on 34th Street, with a nod to 34th Street where CHOP was located, But Weston put up a good fight, but unfortunately, about 3 months later, he lost a battle at age 7. So, that was that was sad to see, but it was, it's things like this that keep you in the air, keep you flying.
Yeah.
So that was certainly a memorable one. But then you have other people, Yvonne, am I saying that right?
Yeah, Yvonne.
Mm-hmm.
She's a frequent flyer. I think she's been flying with us for at least 10 years.
I'll bet. Yeah, she's great. She's always happy. Yeah, you can't even look at this woman without smiling.
Yeah.
Just because she's always so uplifting. And she's got medical problems. I mean, obviously, she's chasing back and forth to here all the time.
Right.
But you just think, you just don't see it in her. But the best part is, you fly with her and she knows she's flown so much. She knows the airspace.
She knows everything.
She knows, hey, they're going to drop you down here. You're going to, going up here. You're probably going to be talking to Allentown soon. And
she knows all the lingo.
Yeah, she does. She does. We were shooting an instrument approach into her airport. And she's spotting the airport and turn off of this taxiway. We got on the ground. Yeah, I turned around and said, "Do you want to fly this thing?"
Yeah.
But
we told her that she's a pilot by association.
She is.
Well, I'll tell you, her most redeeming quality is she can pick out a good place for food. She knows all the FBOs. She knows where to go. She turned me on the Millionaire up in Syracuse. Great food, and yeah, she makes the best of it. But you go into this place, it's like a Costco on a Saturday afternoon. There's just food everywhere. It's a lot of fun. So she's been fun. I flew a guy who, and her mother made a quilt for me. She made this beautiful quilt that, me and my family fight over her every night. We're sitting on the couch to watch something. I try to get over first so I can grab it, Of course, hopefully they don't watch this and catch on to my new tricks, But yeah, I met a lot of interesting people. And I flew a guy once that had a seizure sensing Pomeranian. At least that's what he said he had. Tracy, maybe he's listening. I don't know if he does. You can shoot me a text. Let me know. Because expiration is expired now. But back then, I don't think they had emotional support dogs. So
that's true.
Hey Tom, I got to bring this dog at me. He senses this. Like, okay, lots of good memorable flights.
Do you fly for any other organizations, or is it just us? Your favorite?
Well, obviously you're my favorite. But
are you cheating on us?
Are we the favorite by luck of the draw?
Default.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, no, I did sign up with Pilot and Paul's a few years back, but
okay, we like them.
Haven't done any flights with them recently, and we just had our airplane reupholstered and new seats, new carpeting. So yeah, I might have to start looking for an organization that rescues butterflies or goldfish. Turtles or something.
Turtles fly too.
There is a turtles one. I feel like we talk about the turtles a lot.
I might have to go. Yeah, I might have to hook up with those guys. We'll see what happens.
Apparently, they transport them in banana boxes.
Makes sense. Yeah, the little dogs and cats won't stay in those things. It's a problem.
What made you want to become a pilot?
Well, yeah, I love anything with an engine. And, I grew up in the 60s, John Glenn, Race to the Moon. I tried golf and, I would do I'd sit there on the golf course and look up at the sky and, hey, Tom, it's your shot, and I like what was up there and it looked easier. And it is. It's much easier to fly plane than it is to play golf as far as I'm concerned.
I find that hard to believe, but I'll let you know.
Right. I don't know if everybody's going to follow that same thought process, but I'll take it. I'll buy it.
Well, let's put it this way. I played golf with some friends last week. We played, and I it's the first time that I played under 100, but we only played 9 holes.
I was going to say, how many holes was that?
Right. So golf was never my thing, but I had a friend that his wife bought him a Discovery flight. It was back in the 80s, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then I had another friend who bought a Cherokee, and he had it for a few years. And I flew around with him a little bit, local area. And he always looked like he was having more fun in the plane than I was, I mean, I was enjoying it, but he was really enjoying it. So it kind of gave me some incentive to give it a shot, and it's a lot of fun, and anytime I mention to anybody, I'm a pilot or I have a plane or whatever, 9 times out of 10, the first thing out of their mouth is, I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do that. So, I'm glad I had enough sense and enough incentive and a little bit of push maybe from a couple other people to follow up on it. way back when, 30 some years ago. So it's really been a plus to my life, I'd say,
Yeah, I think so too. It's a plus to our life too, because I don't know who else would have trusted us with a 15-foot box truck back then.
Not many people.
Yeah, I was under pressure there,
I
believe me.
saw how you drove.
Hey, you made it back every
Listen,
time.
Tom did it, so mind your business.
Yeah, I got all the speeding tickets in the mail later.
At least we brought it back.
Yeah, who had that truck? We had no contract on it, so we didn't know.
Not those angel flight people.
No, couldn't have been the girls.
No, we are innocent.
Yeah.
So now, Tom, what would you tell somebody who is thinking about becoming a pilot or becoming even an angel flight
Well, if you're a pilot, join the team. Just do it. It really helps others, and it feels. Again, I said it before. It gives just something to feel good about. You'll find out that I guarantee it. While public service improves the lives and the world around us, the greatest reward is the enrichment you get back yourself from knowing that you were a part of that. So it's very fulfilling, I should say.
Good.
Keeps you busy when you're not flying, since now you're retired and can really live it up.
Well,
And apparently don't like golf.
hanging out with you gals is always fun.
We're entertaining. We keep telling people that.
Yeah, send you funny memes and mean tweets.
You're the troll that's trolling us online.
Right. But we just had our first grandchild, a little boy named Jesse. And don't worry, the next one's going to be called Maddy. So we got.
I'm glad you know that. It has to be.
I know where
We'll
my
get you
place
hooked
is.
up. Yeah. But so he's gonna be a lot of fun. He'll be walking soon, so that'll keep me busy. I'm retired now, so I'm home and kind of showing my wife how she should have been running the house all these years. So that's.
She's such a sweet woman.
Yeah, we'll see how that
Kathy is a saint.
and we travel a lot. We enjoy getting out and getting around, and
You're always somewhere. We enjoy.
Yeah, how many
based on your Facebook photos, especially you the camel. That
Yeah.
was my favorite.
Yeah.
How many countries have you been to since you've retired now?
countries.
Yeah, or even continents, because it's been a lot.
Continents are what we're trying to knock out. I think the only one that we haven't been to is Antarctica, and the only two states that I haven't been to is North Dakota and somewhere else, Oregon. I don't know why I haven't been to Oregon, but
I heard Portland.
Oregon sounds cool.
yeah, it sounds good, but yeah,
North Dakota, I might be like, okay, we can make a potty stop here and then keep going.
All right. Oh yeah. I mean, we did that last time. We went to Nebraska and we went to Taco Bell, and just so we could say we were in Nebraska. And then we went next door to Iowa, which I didn't even know we were next to each other. And we went to not the Jiffy Pop, Jolly Time popcorn store. So yeah, we knocked out like 3 states one Saturday afternoon.
I'm upset you chose to go to Taco Bell and not Arby's.
This is a very big debate around here.
Didn't feel like an Arby's night.
No night should be an Arby's night. Jess is the reason why Arby's is still in business.
The local Arby's here on Mondays, they play bingo.
We went to the Indianapolis game with my son, the Eagles Indianapolis game last year, and he insisted on going to this Arby's. It was on the other side of the stadium, and it's cold. And we're going, you got to go. Arby's is great. I said, okay. Finally got the Arby's, 15 minutes later, going in the wrong direction. Everybody else going the other way to the stadium. He buys a cup of coffee.
That's it?
That's it.
That's what you go to Arby's? I didn't even know they sold coffee.
I had no idea. I thought I was going to be getting the best roast beef sandwich I ever laid my eyes on.
Were you ready to kill him?
Hey, he's a good kid. I tell you. Right? Then we won. It was an Eagles win, so that was a splash.
That's
all
fine.
right. Well, that counts. That gives you a saving point.
There you go.
Where's your favorite place to fly to?
For Angel Flight or just in
general?
General. Marco Island.
Oh,
Island. Yeah.
Well, if you ever have an empty seat, we'll go.
Or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. You can help with the flying. Right?
I'll sit in the back and fall asleep.
Yeah. That. It's a nice flight. You spend most of the day. You fly all down the East Coast, Although I do like flying even up into New England. I love going through New York. Everybody avoids it because of the the air traffic control, but I mean, it's great because they control you.
That's true.
You know,
They just tell you where to go.
They tell you where to go, you do it, and
That's it.
It's easy. It's not,
Seems
it's a
easy.
no-brainer. Yeah, it's like scam your parents.
So what is
I love
one thought you want to leave our listeners with, besides that we're your favorite people at Angel Flight?
Well,
Yeah.
you think that would be enough, but
we just like to reiterate it so they heard it.
that's right. Repeat. Well, everybody has a skill or an experience that they can offer it, and it's beneficial to somebody else. And if you're not putting your talents to the best use in everyday life, or even if you are, volunteering can be a prime way to share it. You can be surprised at how your own abilities sharpen when you share your own knowledge. It helps me become a better pilot. It helps me be more grateful for what I have. It's really enhanced my life. And I get to meet you guys, I mean, yeah, but seriously, I mean, you really do meet some really great people, hanging around here. And, I'm involved with Wings Field Preservation Association, I think we're called. And whatever we are, they're a great bunch of guys, and they're dedicated, and it's just nice to see people, dedicated for a good cause in our days, That's my thoughts. It's my final.
We love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Thinking of that picture he sent us on Saturday while we were sitting at the table.
See, the way he just said that's my final thoughts, I really just thought of like being a little kid homesick and it being like, and now time for Jerry's final thoughts.
It was great. Thank you so much for being here, coming to do it in our new humble abode.
I had to check it out. So much about it, Had to come see it. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for hanging out with us. And thanks, listeners, for hanging out with us for another episode of Takeoff Talk. We'll see you next week.
That's it for today's episode of Takeoff Talk with Angel Flight East. If you want to learn more about our services, please visit our website at www.angelflighteast.org or call our office at 215-358-1900. Join us in our mission. If you're a healthcare worker or a patient in need of air travel and flight services, AFE is here for you. Subscribe to the show so you can hear more stories. Join us again next week right here on Takeoff Talk.